Hi, my name is Magali Lanham, and this is a short overview to church administration, law, and finances. The strong, profound, and powerful work of the Holy Spirit is at the heart of the Assemblies of God's history. Assemblies of God's Financial Solution was set up in 1998 to meet the changing and growing needs of ministers, churches, and people who attend them. Its goal was to help the Assemblies of God's financial ministries grow and get better. It helps with planned giving, retirement planning, insurance, church loans, and stewardship consulting. In 2014, the Assemblies of God marked its 100th year as a group of Christian fellowship. Any church that sticks to good biblical teaching admits it is totally dependent on the Holy Spirit and works hard to spread God's mission that no one should perish. But beyond these spiritual basics, organization is a key factor that is often overlooked. Our founders were smart enough to set up systems that would help the new fellowship run. The Articles of Incorporation, the Constitution, and the bylaws were the governing documents. They set out what the church believed, how ministers should do their jobs, how local churches and districts should work, and what the national headquarters should do. These laid the groundwork for things like unity, order, responsibility, shared values, fellowship, and continuity. The organization can't work well without a clear constitution and bylaws for the general council and/or the local church. The Constitution establishes the organization's formal identity. It also establishes the fundamental characteristics and operating requirements of the organization. The bylaws include the rules and procedures for the organization's everyday operations. This includes administrative information concerning offices and departments and processes needed to complete the organization's task. To compare both documents, consider the Constitution to be the official description of the Assemblies of God and the bylaws to be the norms and procedures of daily operation. So let's look at one important aspect of church operation, church finances. Developing a church budget can help with the financial organization and planning. So a part of being a good steward is taking care of the resources that God has entrusted to you and using them to advance the kingdom. As a leader of your church and congregation, you have a responsibility to assist and guarantee that the finances of your members are spent appropriately and to provide a positive example for good financial practice. For that reason, a church needs strong financial leadership, both in the office and on the church board, to build and keep a strong financial base. When planning the annual church budget, a few board members with experience in finance can be very helpful. Although having faith in God's providence is crucial, we also need to put in work on our plan ahead. Here are a few steps in creating a budget. Before establishing a church budget, review previous revenue and expenditure patterns. To determine yearly revenue and cost, utilize the church's annual financial report. Then the church must determine fixed and discretionary spending. After prioritizing the required and discretionary spending, we must assign monetary amounts. Once the preliminary expenditure budget is done, it must be compared to last year's real income. Track the budget, and then use proactive budgeting ideas. So let's briefly talk about risk management. People who are willing to be Jesus' hand and feet are an important part of the church's growth. This means that both volunteers and clergy are needed to help with different parts of the ministry. Your ministry is subject to a variety of risks on a daily basis. These risks may be broken down into three categories. There's economic and financial risk, legal risk, and organizational risks. The first potential risk is the well-being of our children. According to the website churchlawandtax.com, the most common grounds for a lawsuit against a church is the sexual abuse of a child by an adult. The second category of risk involves the cash collecting procedure, the separation of monetary tasks, and the maintenance of strict internal control. The buildings and assets of the church, as well as the individuals who visit your place of worship on a regular basis, make up the third category of potential risk. In addition to having the appropriate insurance, the safety of the church structure, its equipment, and its visitors is the primary emphasis of this section. For further information, visit the official website of the Assemblies of God USA. So in conclusion, every day your ministry is exposed to new dangers, whether they be financial, legal, or physical in nature. How well you respond to these threats will determine the health and prosperity of your ministry. Many thanks to the founders who were astute enough to put up processes that would provide the groundwork for the new fellowship's success. Thanks for listening to the Church Administration, Law, and Finances. See you next time.